Vanakkam, good afternoon, good evening to everyone who have entered the finale week today, the Wednesday FB special live session from Storytrain. I am Srividya Veeraraghavan, gladly welcoming you all to today's special live storytelling session, where I bring to you 3 stories. Yes, because Storytrain is filled with stories. So why should I just share one story? Yes, so I am again going to bring you 3 stories from various genres. One is from Indian mythology, where I am going to share the Jaya Vijaya story. And the second one is again from the Indian fables, which talks about an ungrateful dog. And the third one, which I am going to share it from an European land, fairy tale, good moral fairy tale. So I'm sure all your members, family members together can come and watch and enjoy. And once you listen to this story, go back and tell many others the same story, retell it, and share the joy of storytelling and feel the power of storytelling. So here we go with our first story. Let me start with a light story. Yeah. Okay. This one story I got it from a book called The Moral Fables from Hindu Mythology. Okay. This is written by Kolar Krishnan Iyer. I will share the photo later. So this particular story was very interesting. It's called The Ungrateful Dog. Many years ago, in the land of India, there lived a saint who was very powerful with the kind of penance that he had done. He had acquired a lot of magical, miraculous power that he could turn anything into anything. In his ashrama, there lived cows, peacocks and many other animals. Along with it, there lived his favorite pet dog. A dog. One day, the dog thought of just going around the place, and during those time, out of ashrama was only the deep jungle. And the dog tried to sniff and go into the jungle, and there he was trying to find something inside it. Suddenly, there came a leopard. A leopard jumped on him, and as the dog saw it, it ran for its life and ran back as soon as possible back to the saint, requesting him to save. And as the saint saw the leopard following the dog, immediately, all the saints have that holy water with them. Immediately he took it and sprinkled on the dog, saying, "Turn to be a leopard." And as he sprinkled, the dog turned to be a leopard. Now the other original leopard from the jungle, when it saw this one, it said, and another leopard, thinking that leopard ran off. Now this dog turned leopard happily roamed around the jungle without any fear, till one day there came a ferocious, hungry tiger. And when it looked at the leopard, said, "Hey, how can you get into my territory?" And then the tiger started to chase this fast running leopard. And anyway, the leopard was actually a dog inside, right? So he got scared and it started to run again back to the saint. Ran to its life and then requested the saint to help from the tiger. The saint immediately took the holy water and sprinkled on the leopard, saying, "Turn to be a tiger." And the leopard was now turned to be a tiger, and then looked back onto the actual tiger which came from the jungle. He said, "Come if you dare so." And then that tiger got scared and ran away. Now the dog turned leopard turned tiger was so happy that it thought it was the lion, it was the king of the jungle, and it started roaming around ferociously and eating all the deers and this and that. Finally one day, as the tiger was so thirsty, it went near a pond, and as it was trying to drink water, suddenly it heard a sound of a thud. Ooh! When it turned back, for the very first time, the tiger saw the huge mammal of the jungle and had the longest trunk and the biggest ears and the skin of thickness. And as the tiger saw it, it got totally scared. And as the actions of the elephant came near him, the tiger was in total fear. Out of fear, it ran for life. And the elephant thought there should be something fishy, and the elephant started following the tiger, tuck, 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 until the tiger came to the shelter of the saint and requested, please save me, something following me. And immediately the saint felt so pity for his favorite pet dog that immediately sprinkled, and there the dog turned, leopard turned, tiger now became an elephant. And seeing that, the actual elephant got scared and ran away. Wow. What life was it? A blessed life for this pet dog. What is it? Miraculous elephant now it became. And it thought it can have no enemies now in the jungle, and started to be very, very free inside the jungle. But life is not so smooth. And this elephant also got caught by the lion, the jungle, the king of the jungle's presence. And as the lion came in for hey, how dare you enter my path? Move away, said the lion. But the elephant, which was not the elephant, the dog which was inside, got scared. Can you believe? An elephant got scared by a lion. And then it started running back to the saint again, requesting. And now the saint, you know the answer, sprinkled the water, and then he turned to be now a lion. Yes, now it became a lion. And then lion. Who can stop the king of the jungle? And there he became so powerful. Every other animal in the jungle started to get scared of this lion. And as his dog turned, leopard turned, tiger turned, elephant turned, lion started to walk into the jungle. And as everybody got scared of him, into his brain, into his mind, there came a thought. Now that I am the king of the jungle, everybody are scared of me, and I am the most powerful. But the saint who sits at that hermitage is very, very powerful. If he can make me a lion, he can make a hen, anything. I must not foresee his life. Saying so, this wicked thought that came into the dog, it turned into leopard, into tiger, into elephant, now into lion, that it turned itself back to the saint's place. And on the saint, he was so powerful with his penance, as he was meditating, could sense the wicked thoughts of his pet dog. And as he realized, immediately he took the holy water, obviously. Immediately he took the holy water, and when the lion came near him, he sprinkled the water onto the lion, saying, hey, wicked you dog, ungrateful dog you are. And as he sprinkled it, there became the very dog back to its original scared form. That's it. The dog got its consequence. He got what he deserved. Ungratefulness will always lead to ungrateful consequences. So it was the story of a dog. It can be related to anybody in our life also, right? As a human, we must always be grateful. That's how I perceive life as. Okay, so that was the first story to start it. Now we go into the Indian mythology or story, but before that I wanted to mention that the reason why I started this initiative, the storytelling session, is that we know that we are all packed up into our houses and we have so much of, our work from home concept is happening, and other side our children are at our houses, and other side there is a lot of, psychologically we are bounded with so much of stress. Not just from the media, which are bombarding with the news of how many deaths happened and how many people affected in the world, but also the unwanted things which are happening. It can be financial strains, it can be psychological strains, unwanted conversations in the family, and all these things which needed a kind of a relaxing platform. So I thought, what best can it be than giving them a sense of stories for at least half an hour a week, where they all can sit together as a family and come together, listen to a story, share stories to each other, and as they share stories, it so happens that they start sharing their heart as well. Sometimes it so happens that they feel so free inside and they feel a bit energized. And once they feel that energy back, they can resume any of their blocked work or blocked thoughts, and they can release it and make it a productive day for the rest of the week. So that was the idea for me to start this, and this being the finale week, and I prayed God that our all lockdown gets over and we get back to our normalcy as early as possible, and everything in the world comes into normalcy and everybody stays healthy and peaceful. That's the whole intention that we do this sessions here. Okay, so we're going with the next story, and this story is from Indian mythology. And as I was just browsing through which story to bring, because India is filled with stories, right? Whether it is from your grandma's box, whether it is from your amma's bedtime stories, or it can be from the various scriptures and the epics and the many books that our ancient forefathers have left us for. Whether it is Panchatantra, the Indian fables, the system of stories that Vishnu Sharma has left, or the Ramayana written famously by the Sanskrit scholar Valmiki, or Mahabharata, the greatest epic in the world. There are so many, we can keep on adding on this. The most interesting part which I thought from India was the mythology, where we talk about the god and the goddesses. It is there, not there is a different form of discussion, but as a storyteller, it's always a delight to share stories from the cultural aspect. And what best can we share not from Indian mythology? Okay, so as I was browsing through, I thought today I am going to share a story from when we enter a temple. Okay, when we enter any spiritual place, we find, or anywhere we go, we find a big gate, and in just to the gate you will find a gatekeeper, right? There is a Dwarapalika. What do you say? So I was trying to see, okay, can I get a story on that? And this particular story interested me. So here I am with the story of Jaya and Vijaya. As in Hindu mythology, there are many gods and goddesses. The three main trinity gods are Shiva, Vishnu and Brahma. Brahma who has created human forms, it's believed. Vaikunta, the Vishnu who stays in the abode of Vaikunta, which is at itself a separate space. And Shiva who believes to be living in Kailasa, always meditating and removal of ego. I mean, he is known to remove our ego inside our system. So all these things clusters together. Every god and goddesses had their own bodyguards. Jaya and Vijaya were also bodyguards. More than bodyguards, they were gatekeepers. Gatekeepers of the abode of Vishnu, Mahavishnu and Mahalakshmi. So they were the gatekeepers of the Vaikunta. The Vaikunta is a massive space where not everybody can just like that enter. Yes? But Brahma, who had created from his thoughts the four Kumaras, the four young boys, they once were so free with, they were like roaming around freely, and they were the Sanaka, the Sanatala, the Sanandana and Sanatakumar. These four young boys, they went on as like any other boys which we find across. They want to be going around freely and exploring the whole universe, and during that process they wanted to visit Vaikunta. They wanted to pay respect to Lord Vishnu, and as they went merrily, freely, there, just before entering the Vaikunta, Vijaya and Jaya, they stopped the four young boys. They said, "Hey, where are you approaching? Don't stop us. We are going to meet our Vishnu. Leave. Why are you stopping us?" said one of the boys. Now Vijaya got really angry. "Huh? You are telling why we should stop? We are the gatekeepers. We can't just like that allow you inside. You know what this place is?" Immediately the other boy said, "Oh, of course we know. We have come to meet Lord Vishnu. We really like him. Give us a way. We tell you, better give us a way." Now these boys were also getting quite furious. And then the conversation started becoming heated. Now Jaya and Vijaya, they were going on and on and on, trying to shoo away these young boys, thinking they were all just children. How can they just like that enter Vaikunta, the Perumal, the Mahavishnu's abode? The boys, in turn, at once they stopped. They said, "Ah, so you will not allow us, huh? You're stopping us like this, huh? Okay, we will show you what we are. We are the son of Brahma. We show you what we can do." Saying so, the four boys rose up to be a gigantic figures, and they looked at Jaya and Vijaya with a furious eyes, and they cursed Jaya and Vijaya, saying, "You are full of arrogance. Don't you know that to meet Vishnu, Mahavishnu, anybody has a right to meet him? Anybody can come and meet him. But you, being very arrogant, thinking that only you are allowed to send anybody inside, we will teach you a lesson." Saying so, the boys cursed them that they will be gone into Bhuloka, meaning the earth, and born as the human beings. When Jaya and Vijaya realized the kind of something not usual about the boys, and they realized the power of these boys, they started to tremble. They started to realize that the curse what they are given should be true. And they looked at each other and said, "Oh, no. And they started pleading these four boys. They said, no, don't curse us. Our whole life is for our Mahavishnu. We don't want to leave him. Please. But the boys were really strict. They said, "Oh, our curse is cursed. We have cursed you. There is no other way. You have to go to the earth." And Jaya and Vijaya were pleading so much, and they started to call out Mahavishnu. And there came Mahavishnu and Mahalakshmi. And when they saw Jaya and Vijaya pleading and feeling so guilty of what they have done, they looked at the four Balakas, the four Kumaras. They asked them, can we do something? Can we just feel pity for these Jaya and Vijaya who had been doing their duty? And the four Balakas said, "You are right, Mahavishnu. I think we have given it up out of our anger, but we don't know how to take it back. But we have a solution." And they said, "Jaya and Vijaya, if you wish to be back to Mahavishnu, we give you options. You have to, either or this way, you have to go to Bhuloga. We cannot take back that curse. But if you go to the Bhuloga, you have to be there for 100 times, you have to take birth, and then only you can come back to meet Mahavishnu. Else, you have to go to the Bhuloga for 3 times. If you go for the 3 times, you will not remember Mahavishnu's gratefulness, and in turn you will be hating him for the whole of your 3 janmas. But it is a shortcut that I can give you." That's how the 4 Balakas gave the option. Immediately Jaya and Vijaya pleaded, "We are okay to go to Bhuloga for 3 times. We are okay because we want to come back as soon as possible. 100 janmas, meaning 100 many years. And it will be very difficult for us to live away from our Mahavishnu." Saying so, they agreed for undergoing the curse. And there they were, gone into Bhuloga. In Indian mythology again, all these eras, the time frame is divided into many, around 4 yugas. So they were brought into Bhuloga, which was really new at that time. Wherein we say there were the plants were up, the insects were up, the fishes were on, the trees were grown, and there were few, kingdoms which were formed. There were new humans who were formed already. The community had started forming, and during that time, the first Janma happened for this Jaya and Vijaya. They were born as Hiranyakashya and Hiranyakaspya, the brothers who were born, and as was told by the four Balakas, the whole Janma they forgot about Mahavishnu, and they kept on cursing him. In fact, what they thought they are the most powerful, and they were all born as Asura lingam. So the Asuras in turn with the intention of being always arrogant and thinking only about themselves, not about any good of anybody else. So that was the internal makeup of Asuras. So when they were born like this, they were all thinking about themselves. Of course, they went to become really powerful by their penance, and they got so many powers, think that nobody could defeat them. With all these things, first Janma, they were killed by, because the end has to happen. They have to go back to the second Janma. So it was killed by the Varaha and Narsimha, Avadara of Mahavishnu himself. Mahavishnu himself came down to help his gatekeepers, because he knew that gatekeepers were they did it out of arrogance, out of ignorance. They wanted to help, and then he took them back, and again was brought into the earth for the second time. The second Janma this time was during the Treta Yuga, wherein during the Ramayanam era, wherein born as Ravana and Kumbhakarna. The brothers, they again were born as the brothers Ravana and Kumbhakarna. And we know, in the first Janma, Jaya and Vijaya were very powerful, so they needed two avatars of Mahavishnu to come and powerfully kill. There will be some other episodes I can share about each killing each Asura characteristics, but because this is like 3 stories that I have to complete, I'm going quick. But anyways, so Ravana and Kumbhakarna, you must be knowing who killed them. It was Sri Rama. Yeah, Sri Rama is one of the incarnation of Mahavishnu. He came forth from Vaikuntha, and the whole episode happened, the whole Ramayanam episode happened for this particular ending, for taking back Ravana and Kumbhakarna back to the space. Of course, not to Vaikuntha, but to the space, for making them ready for the next Janma. The third Janma, which happened in the Dwapara Yuga. Dwapara Yuga, when Mahabharata happened, when Sri Krishna was born. Right? The Sri Krishna was there, and they were born as Sishupala and Dantavakara. Okay, they were born as Sishupala and Dantavakara. Who are these two? They were actually Sri Krishna's cousin brothers. Vasudeva, Krishna's father's sister's, sons. Okay, but both of them, though born to different sisters, both of them had a similar quality when they were born. Shishupala was born very kind of unstructured. He was twisted and kind of born like that. And sage had informed the mother that if you can keep it on a lap of one person, that one particular person can cure, and the person who cures only will also kill Shishupala. And it so happened, when it was placed on Krishna's lap, Shishupala kept on Krishna's lap when he was really young. Immediately Shishupala started getting cured. And that time, his mother knew that it was Krishna who is going to kill Shishupala. So that's how, at one stage, at one incident, Krishna kills Shishupala, making Jaya go back to Vaikuntha. He was freed. He went back to Vaikuntha. Now Vijaya's chance. Who is Vijaya? The next Dantavakara. He is also when he was born with a kind of a twisted teeth, very ugly looking. Even he had one stance. He fought with Krishna, and then they had a great battle where Dantavakara also got killed by Krishna, making they going back to Vaikuntha, taking their position as the gatekeepers, proper gatekeepers from there on. And till now, if you have a practice of going to temples, whether it is in Srirangam in Tamil Nadu, or whether it is in Tirumala in Andhra Pradesh or whether it is in Jagannath Puri temple in Orissa, when you go into these temples, you will surely find Jaya and Vijaya standing just in front of the gates of the main shrine of Lord Vishnu. So you can definitely look into the place, and then you will remember the stories, and then you can definitely retell the stories to your children as well. Okay, so we go into the next final story of this week. Hope you are enjoying the stories till now, and the many stories that I have been telling for weeks and weeks, it has been from various, whether it was my own original story or whether it was from fables. I had a good time. I shared a lot of stories that I love, and I'm sure you had also loved all the stories. So I go with my finale, small other final story, which is from a Western fairy tale. I really love the story. It's called The Three Best Wishes. I make it very short. There lived three brothers in somewhere around in Europe, where the climate was always cold and it was supposed to be snowing, and these three brothers had nothing but a small hut and one small apple tree. The apple tree was very, very strange and very, very unique in its own way, that only these brothers had the possession, and all the villagers around had an eye on that. The brothers, who were quite poor, will get only 3 apples a day. The tree will bear only 3 apples every night. Every midnight it will give you apples. So to guard those apples, every day one brother will take in turn and take a round and take care of, protect the tree from thieves getting into. Yeah. So likewise, one fine night, when the eldest brother was standing and guarding the tree, there came an old woman. She came and she was shivering. It was cold. She was shivering, and she came and said, "Can you please share me an apple?" And the brother, being quite kind, he thought, "Oh, seems a poor lady." And then he got into the tree, and then he plucked one of the 3 apples. He plucked and gave it to the old lady, saying, "This is my share. Don't ask me those 2. Those are my brothers." Saying so, the woman also thanked and she went. The next day, the second brother who was standing, the old woman came during the night, and again she asked for the apple, and the second brother also plucked 1 apple out of the tree and gave it. Same. The third night, same thing happened. The third brother also did the same. Now this old lady, for the 4th day, early morning, knocked at the door of this hut, and as the brothers opened the door, they found the same old lady they could recognize. And as she came in, she turned to be an angel fully dressed in silver dress. She had a wand in her hand, and she said, "I wish to give you something in return of the apples that you gave me." The brothers were really surprised and looking forward to get something back. And then they followed the angel. The angel took them into the deep jungle nearby. And as they were walking, there came a deep river. She stood there and looked at the eldest brother and asked, "Wish what you want. What you want, and I would grant that so." And then, I hope it is live. It got stuck in between. Okay. "And wish what you want, and I will grant that so." And saying so, immediately the eldest brother looked at the water and said, "Wish if this water becomes wine, and that belongs to me." And there the angel swept her wand and looked at the water, and whoosh, the water turned to be the red, ripe wine. The smell of the old wine totally surrounded the place, air, and just within seconds, there were a lot of men and women working in the barrels. They were filling all the wines, and there were industry like storage rooms, and men were keeping it the barrel one after the other, and there were carts loading them to the market, and all this just in front of them. The eldest brother was delighted, and the angel said, "Till you get it, till you remember this God's name." And then she went off. And then as the two brothers, she left the first brother and the other two brothers along with the angel walked. And after some time, they saw a flock of pigeons eating something. And there she stopped and looked at the second brother, said, "Ask what you want, that should be granted." And immediately the second brother said, "Wish these pigeons turn out to be sheep so that I can use it." And so was it. The pigeons turned to be the white flourished sheep. And as the angel turned it, immediately there were also men and women started to work. Some were milking it, some were making cheese, and some were actually, rearing the fur of the sheep, and all this was happening. The second brother was also very, very happy. Now the angel took the third brother along. As they were walking, the angel asked, "What you wish?" And the brother said, "I don't wish anything. I hope I get a wife." The angel stopped. "What?" "I wish I should have a very, very, very good wife." Now, as like you are thinking, the angel also thought, the most difficult thing in the world is to get a very good husband and a very good wife. Altogether, combination is a very difficult task. Thinking so, she again looked at the third brother and said, "It is quite difficult, but still I can grant you." And there she arranged a magical incident therein he got married to a princess who turned to be a very, very good wife. Anyways, the angel left them and she went back to heaven. After 1 year, she wanted to see what the brothers are doing. So she came back. Now she got dressed, she got herself, turned into an old beggar. As a beggar, she went to the first brother. "In the name of God, can you please share a cup of wine? I am so feeling cold," asked the old man. Now the brother, who was really rich and he was counting money with the vineyard that he had, he looked at the old woman and said, Hey, move away. Don't you know you're wasting your time? Just move. And as he uttered those words, whoosh, in the name of God, what the man said, all the magic that had created around the brother vanished just like that, and the wine turned back to the normal river. The brother looked and he remembered, "Oh yes, I forgot the old God's name. I forgot the poor." Nothing can be done. And this old beggar, the angel turned old beggar, went to the second brother. And second brother was also he was also busy with his business. He had 100 wives and he had a big mansion to live in. And when he saw the old beggar, he had no time to even look at him. He was not even bothered what he was asking, and he kept on doing his work. Seeing his ignorance, again the old man said, "You forgot the God's name and the poor, as told you in the beginning." And then, as he said the God's name, whoosh, all the magic disappeared, and the second brother also lost all what he had, and in front of him he just saw the pigeons eating. Gone the magic. Anyways, the old beggar went straight and he was looking for the third brother. When he went around looking he saw a small hut. It was cold weather and the hut, the chimney was on. Smoke was coming. So the old beggar went and knocked at the door, and he knew that was the house of the third youngest brother. When the door was opened, the younger brother looked quite feeble. He was feeling very, poor and helpless, and he looked with his feeble eyes to the beggar, and he said, "What do you want?" And the beggar said, "It's very cold. Can I get a piece of bread to eat? Can I get a place to sleep?" And so the younger brother looked at him and said, "Oh, I have not enough space, but you can come." And he made him come inside. And inside, there his wife was there. She was cooking bread in the oven. Bread that she had taken the tree's bark, and she had scraped it, and she had made bread out of it, because they didn't have wheat to make the actual bread. And when she saw the beggar, she looked at the husband and said, "What are we supposed to give? We have nothing to eat." But the beggar said, "Give me a cup of water, hot water." And there the wife went and she put the water on the boiler. And as the water started to boil, when she took out and poured it on the glass, it turned to be a red wine. And then when she opened the oven to take the bark bread, she found a great loaf of wheat bread. She didn't understand what happened. She immediately gave and served to the beggar. Kind-hearted husband and wife, the younger brother and his wife, served the beggar. And the beggar looked at them and blessed. That you remember the God's name and you remember the poor. I bless you with prosperity, eternal prosperity. And then from that day onwards, the younger brother and the wife became really prosperous. Suddenly the hut became a mansion. And not just that, the story doesn't stop here. He looked out for the two other elder brothers. When he saw them being very helpless, he brought them back into his mansion, gave them the space, and both three of the brothers started to live happily, merrily, and most importantly, thinking of the God's name and of the poor, always helping the poor, always helping the people in need. They lived a happy and a prosperous life ahead, ever. Thank you. Thank you for watching today's live Wednesday live FB sessions. I hope you have enjoyed all the sessions that we have done, and I hope you have enjoyed this session also. Please share your feedbacks. Please write to me at storytrain@yahoo.com. I'll be very happy to receive your feedbacks and your suggestions and any other story requests. And with the hope that we will meet once again sometime in the future. Saying bye-bye and a happy, peaceful life ahead to all of you. Thank you so much.